where I take a look at the elections going on across America this year for the United States Senate and give you my thoughts, predictions, and analysis on the race. And today is a election that honestly, back in May, when I started looking at making these videos, that I really thought would be one of the last races of the year that I would be able to make a prediction on, just because of how close it was the last time. But it was, that is not the case, and that is because of the primary results that occurred just last night. The primaries in New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Delaware wrapped up the primary season, and we are full steam ahead to the general election. So, the Granite State, New Hampshire, a seat currently held by the Democratic Party and Senator Maggie Hassan. Hassan is in her first term. In 2016, Hassan's margin of victory was 0.14%, less than 2,000 votes separated Maggie Hassan and her opponent, and Hassan defeated an incumbent senator to win that her Senate seat. In 2016, Hillary Clinton also won a very close race in New Hampshire. Her margin of victory over Donald Trump was 0.37%. In 2020, Joe Biden had a much larger margin of victory over Donald Trump in the state of New Hampshire. Although it was considered a battleground state throughout, most political observers believed that Joe Biden had it pretty safe at hand, and that ended up being the case on Election Day. Biden won the state with a margin of victory of 7 percentage points, so almost a 7% increase total between him and Clinton from 2016 to 2020. So a state that swung heavily to the Democrats in from 2020 to 2016. The two nominees are the incumbent Senator Maggie Hassan. She defeated her primary opponents, really only gadfly opposition. She's the incumbent senator. She did face some opposition, but she won with over 90% of the vote in the Democratic primary. Prior to becoming senator, Maggie Hassan was a two-term governor of the state of New Hampshire, along with the senior senator from New Hampshire, Jeanne Shaheen, who was also governor. So both the junior and senior senator from the state of New Hampshire are former governors of the state, and often you see that senators who were governors perform much better in the job of a United States senator. Prior to serving in the governor's office, Senator Hassan served in the state senate, and in her final terms in office in the state senate was the Democratic majority leader in the state senate. The Republican nominee, this is why this video is being made now, Don Bolduc. Mr. Bolduc is a former one-star Brigadier General in the United States military, served 10 tours of duty overseas. No one is questioning his patriotism and bravery at all. But Mr. Bolduc holds some controversial views. He is an election denier. He is a COVID denier. He is a very far-right candidate, and a candidate who holds some extreme views. Mr. Bolduc lost the 2020 Republican primary, not by a small margin, but it was very significant, the percentage of the vote he received. But he won a close primary last night. There is some question whether Democratic groups boosted his profile by running ads, denigrating the conservatism, supposedly, of his opponent, who finished second, when Mr. Bolduc himself and his campaign has not spent a whole lot of money. So, Don Bolduc is the Republican nominee. And because he is the nominee, I am now making my prediction. Senator Hassan will win a second term in the United States Senate. It'll be a hold for the Democratic Party. It will not be that close at all. Senator Hassan won a close race in 2020 against an incumbent, 2016 against an incumbent senator who was fairly popular, and they ran a pretty, from what I can tell, clean campaign. That is not going to be the case this time. She will win a very convincing victory. So, Senator Hassan elected to a second term, and it's a hold for the Democrats.